Hey everyone, it's Anson from AnsonAlex.com. Today I'm going to be giving a tutorial on Google Docs. They recently changed their interface in February of 2011, and I'm going to give a full beginner's tutorial that includes the new interface. So I'm going to go over here to my Google Docs account, and you'll notice right now I don't have any documents. For this tutorial, let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to show you how you can create new documents just like you would in Microsoft Word. If you look at the top of your screen, we have this Create New link. If we click on it, we have some options available for us. We can create a document, which is just like a Word document. We can do a presentation, which is like a Microsoft PowerPoint. We can do a spreadsheet, which is like Microsoft Excel. We can make forms, which are useful for gathering online information. We could make a drawing, which is similar to Microsoft Visio. And we could create a new collection, which is basically a folder. Google just calls them collections because they act a little bit different than folders do. So let's go ahead and just create a new document to start out here. When I click that, you'll see it opens up in a new tab, and this is going to be my document. I'm going to edit my document right in my browser. Now, Google Docs has an autosave feature, but it doesn't start until you rename your document. So the first thing I recommend you do when you create a new document in Google Docs is to go up here where it says Untitled Document and give it a name. I'm going to call this document Test 1 for the tutorial purpose. I hit enter, and now you can see up here it's called Test 1. I can also see that it has just saved, and you saw it change as I clicked up here. It saves automatically now that it has a name. I can just start typing. You can see it acts just like a Microsoft Word document. I can do pretty much all the same things I can do in Microsoft Word in Google. If I highlight this, you can see I have this toolbar up here. I could change the color of the text. I could bold it, italics it, underline it. I'm going to take those off. I could change the font size, the actual font itself. I could even embed an image in this document using this button right here. I could pick an image on my computer to upload. I'm not going to do that right now, but it's basically like adding an attachment to an email. I could add a link if I want to add a link into my document. I click add a link. I press the text that I want it to display. Actually, I'll do my website. Why not? And then I pick the web address that I want the link to go to. So you enter the address, AnsonAlex.com, click OK, and you'll see now we have a link. When I click on it, I can then click here, and it'll take me to that link in a new tab. You can create lists, bulleted or numbered. You can indent your margins over here. You can change the alignment of the text. All the features that Microsoft Word has. Now, obviously, it's not quite as feature heavy as Microsoft Word is, but it really strips out the features that you don't use that much. Most of these features in Google Docs are the ones you use every day, and you're not going to miss the features that you don't have. Okay, so that's a document. When I'm done with that, since it saves automatically, I can just close this tab. You'll see that the document now appears in my list over here. Now, we've only created one document. Let's go ahead and create an Excel document real quick, and then I'll show you how we can kind of sort through these documents and organize them a little bit. So I'm going to go to Create New again. This time I'm going to go to Spreadsheet. And now you see it pops up in my browser just like the Google document. The first thing I'm going to do is the same. I'm going to go up here and change the name of the document. I'm going to call this Test 2. I click OK. And now we'll see that the document is Test 2 and it's saved. Now, Excel or Google Spreadsheet works just like Excel. I'm going to populate some fields with some random numbers here, and then I'll do a formula to show you that they add up. I guess the 0 doesn't matter. Okay, so I have a bunch of numbers here. Now, to sum up these numbers, I'm going to go up here to the formula bar. I'm going to click Sum, and then I'm going to select the cells that I want to sum. I do that, and I can go ahead and hit Enter or Return, and you'll see that this cell adds up to the cells above it. I can then go over here, and I could do another function. I could say I want the average of these cells. Hit Return, and you'll see now I have the average. If I change one of these cells, my other numbers are going to change as well. I'm not going to go into detail about using formulas as most people who are familiar with Excel are familiar with doing that, but they're pretty similar in Google Docs. You'll get used to it, and as you can see, you can also do all your formatting up here. You can do your cell type, size, bold, color. You can create borders. You can justify or align your text. There's all the different things you can do. You can create graphs over here. So it works just like Microsoft Excel. Same as I said with Google Documents. The Google Spreadsheet doesn't have quite the features that Excel has, but for basic users, it's more than what you need. So I'm going to close out this, And now we'll go back to my Google Docs, and you'll see I have two documents in here. Now, let's talk about sharing these documents, because that's something that a lot of people use Google Docs for. You can see if I click anywhere to the right of the document, you'll see it becomes highlighted in blue, and there's some information about the document over here on the right. If I click the other document, you'll see the information changes. So if I want to share this document, I can go down here to the sharing settings, and I can click on settings, and now you can see as of right now it's a private document. I'm the only person that has access to it, Anton Alexander. However, if I wanted to share it with John Doe, I could go ahead and enter John Doe's email address, and then go ahead and pick the permissions that I want him to have. He can either have edit permissions or view permissions. Once I've done that, I can choose the other options down here. I could have a copy sent to myself. I could have the document actually pasted in the email. That's up to your discretion. But go ahead and click share, and then johndoe@gmail.com will get an email saying that a document has been shared with him. When he opens up his Google Docs, he'll see that he will have another document in here that has been shared with him, and he will be able to edit it as well because I gave him edit permissions. If he was editing that document and I had the document open as well, I would see those changes in real time as he made them. I think that is the coolest thing about Google Docs. You don't have to worry about copying over files, somebody doing updates, somebody else doing updates, and you guys are overwriting each other's updates. So Google Docs, you see it in real time. It's probably the best feature of it. Now, we only have two documents. I'm going to create a few more here for the purpose of this tutorial. And I'm going to do it kind of quick, so just bear with me. This one's going to be test 3. It's saved. I'm going to make a test 4. So I have 2 spreadsheets and 2 regular documents. So I close that out. I'm going to refresh. Okay, so you can see now I have all 4 documents in here. The one that is shared is denoted with this shared button. So maybe I want to start organizing these documents. First off, you can search through your documents using these drop downs up here. The first one means you can sort by the actual document type. So you can sort for text documents. You'll see if I click that, only the 2 text documents appear. Or I could do spreadsheets, only the spreadsheets appear. You can also sort between images and videos. I don't have any, but if I were to click images, only my images would show up. As you can see, I don't have any. The other ways you can sort are under here under more options. You could sort the documents that are just owned by you, that are shared with you with other people. So if John Doe wanted to see the document I shared with him, he could click on this and it would appear. You could look at all your documents that aren't in collections, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Those are folders, as I stated earlier. You can see all your documents that are in collections, all the ones that are private. You can see there's a whole bunch of different options for you to sort. So if I look at all the ones owned by me, you'll see I don't see the ones that I own, and I own 4 of them. Why is this happening? If you look up here in this Google search bar up here, when we choose how to sort our documents, what we're really doing is we're really telling Google to run a query. And because I've made multiple selections in here, the query that Google's now running is all the images that are owned by me. I don't have any images, so if I click this tag off, you'll see now my 4 documents appear. So if you have some funky things going on when you're trying to sort through your documents, you might want to look up here and see what the actual search query you're running is. Okay, so we've looked at how we can sort through our documents. Let's look at how we could maybe personalize the sorting a little bit and create a collection. To do that, I'm going to go back over here to the Create New dropdown, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Collection. When I do that, you'll see that a box pops up, and I can now enter a name for that collection. I'm going to call it Test Collection, and I'm going to hit OK. When I do that, you'll see that I now have a tab over here labeled Test Collection, and there's nothing inside of it. Let's go back home and see the 4 items that I've created, and I'm going to put one of these items into the Test Collection. So if I click to the right of Test 1 and highlight it, you'll see over here I can go to Organize Collections. When I click that, a box pops up with all the collections that I have in it. Because I only have one, that's the only one we're seeing right now. I can now click the checkbox for this test collection and apply the changes. You'll see the document now has a tag next to it with the collection name. If I go down here and I click on Test Collection, you'll see that only that document appears because it's the only document I've put in that collection. So that's kind of how you can customize your organization in Google Docs. Okay, so now let's talk about uploading documents, because if you're moving to Google Docs, there's probably a pretty good chance that you have a bunch of Word, Excel documents that you might want to store in Google Docs. to do that, I can go up here to the upload button, and then I get a screen that kind of looks like adding an attachment to an email. I can choose the file that I want to upload, so I click here. I'm going to upload a picture of me. So I hit open. You'll see that the item is now staged to upload. I can click some options down here. If you're uploading an Excel or Word document, you definitely want to have this first checkbox checked, because what that does is it converts the document into Google format, which means you can now edit it in Google. If you had this checkbox unchecked, it would upload the document, but it would still be in Word or Excel format, and you wouldn't be able to upload it in Google. You'd have to download it to whichever computer you're using and edit it in Microsoft Word or Excel. So check that checkbox. I could also pick the collection that I would like to put it in over here. So I could click on this drop down and I could click on test collection, hit OK, and then hit start upload. Now you'll see it takes about 5 to 10 seconds. It's uploaded, so I can go back to my Google Docs, and you'll see on the home tab I now have the Anson Alex JPEG, which is an image of me. So that's how you would upload documents. One last thing before I finish the tutorial, I would like to show you how to share documents through emailing. Okay, maybe you have an Excel worksheet that you would like to share with somebody, but they don't use Google Docs. What I can do is I can click on this test 2 spreadsheet over here. I can go down here to actions, and I can click on share, and you'll see I have an option to email as attachment. When I do that, a box pops up that allows me to enter the email address of the recipient. You can see I can choose which format I would like to attach the item as. So I could make it an Excel document, I could make it an open office spreadsheet, or I could just attach it as a PDF. I think that's one of the great things about Google Docs is the ability to format documents in with other formats when you're emailing them. So I can choose Excel. I can now email this document to John Doe at gmail.com. I could enter a message if I wanted to. Here is the doc you meant that you requested. Alright, and now I can hit send. He now received an email and with that document attached to it in Excel format, so he could download it and open it up in Microsoft Excel if he does not use Google Docs. That's as detailed as I'm going to get in this tutorial. There's a little more that you could dig into. I would love to hear any feedback, comments from anybody, and I hope that you find this tool useful because I use it every day. We'll talk to you later.